but to watch these linebackers for Cleveland, I think it's going to be fun watching these guys.
And I believe we are now joined by Cleveland High School head football coach Chris Brown. Coach, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, I am.
Hey, thank you so much for taking the time to call the drive here on ESPN Cleveland. And I do want to let our listeners know Coach Brown is just now ending practice over there at Cleveland High School. So, again, we're very thankful that you're taking the time to hurry and get on here with us to close out this Monday show. And it's going to be Blue Raider Mondays when we have you on to preview what's going on, especially here week one. It's a short week for you guys with the Thursday game. Just kind of talk about what this week looks like for you guys.
Well, it's never ideal circumstances to open with a rival and then open on a Thursday night break-in. But, in the end, we're excited to play. All of our operations are moved up just like everybody else are playing on a Thursday. And we tried to approach today as what we would call a Tuesday practice. So getting our full periods, getting our full work, and, also trying to make sure that our game plans are sharp. And then just, like most teams, especially ones with a roster as young as ours, just trying to get better at us and our daily fundamentals. So much of it that we lack in experience that we can't stray too far from those pieces.
Coach, this is Jacob Mason. As a former Blue Raider myself, I know school spirit is huge though over there on Raider Drive. What's the atmosphere been like this week with football on the cusp?
I think what's really special about the South in general, and especially our region of the state and Bradley County in general, Cleveland City, they love football. And even right now, as I'm standing watching our guys do their makeups and their punishments, we have an entire youth league swarming down to our field, just age group after age group. We're excited to play football, and it's ingrained in our culture. It's ingrained in what makes us, and what makes Cleveland Cleveland. You can't hide from the tradition. You got to lean in and love and embrace it. And it's special. It's special to stand and look at what I'm looking at right now.
Coach, let me ask you something. I mean, obviously you haven't played a game, so you don't know all of your strengths and weaknesses. But if you were to say, hey, this team's stronger on which side of the ball, offense or defense, without having played a game yet, which do you feel most comfortable with?
Well, I've learned a long time ago when you're talking about experience, and I don't care what level you're speaking of when it comes to football, you always feel better when you have a quarterback with experience. So I can't say that I know where we are on either side of the ball or special teams, but having an experienced quarterback with the talent level and the energy and the leadership skills that we do, I feel like there's someone there that's going to make a play when it needs to be made. So, and defensively, I've got my eyes on a few that I think are in that same category, but Cason's played. He started. He knows, and he's ran an offense that has had to go out and perform. So that sure does make me feel better.
Yeah, Coach, as you talk about Cason McGowan, a lot of our listeners are familiar with the big arm that he has, the big play capability. A lot of our listeners, though, aren't familiar with you and your offense. If you could kind of give us some insight on what that looks like without going too far deep into it.
Well, you have to have an identity that's you have to be able to run the ball when they don't want you to if you're going to win playoff games. And there are different ways to do that. You can be physically dominant and overpower people at the point of attack. You can be superior in speed and then major in trying to catch people's edges, and or you can major in trying to read linemen that you have trouble blocking or making them pitch keys, and that's this kind of. It's kind of where we are. We feel like there's some matchups that we can do one of three of those things. So offensively, we're gonna be built for 11 personnel with able to put 4 receivers on the field when we're ready to, and be able to get bigger when we need to when the situations dictate it. But I'm always going to prefer to have some form of an extra blocker or a hybrid player on the field to put defenses in conflict and make them have to choose and be wrong. And that's kind of what we are. We're built to be multiple, and we're built to take advantage of where we're fast, where we're big, and where we've got body matchups.
Tell us about your offensive line, Coach. Do you feel like they're better run blockers or pass blockers?
I feel like they're good at doing what they're told. So,
that's a good answer.
And that is a life skill that I wish I had more of younger. I would be more successful than I am, especially when I met my wife. If I just listened to her earlier, then there's no telling what I'd be. But, what I love about our group up front, and especially their leader, Coach Ben Braun, is they're eager. They don't. They're sponges, and they truly attack what they're assigned to do. Doesn't mean they always rep it perfect, but they do give full effort. They are trying to learn the schematics and the whys behind, and they're a group that genuinely like each other. They're trying to work together. They're trying to support each other. But to go back to actually give you an answer to the question, it's all about matchups. And in high school football, that's 90% of all of it's about matchups. I think there are, certain schemes and certain individuals that they would be more successful in the run scheme, and I think the opposite is true too. There's certain ones that were built better to wall off and to slide protect for. And it's our job as coaches to figure out what those matchups are the defense is trying to create and then take them away.
Again, we're joined by Cleveland High School head football coach Chris Brown, entering his first season. Big matchup on Thursday night, taking on crosstown rival Walker Valley. And we heard you mention Coach Braun. If you could just kind of tell us a little bit about your coaching staff. I know that I believe you've added a couple Lockerbies to the coaching staff as well. Just let our listeners kind of know who all you got over there.
Y'all settle in now because I'm probably the sixth best head coach on my staff. One of the biggest, what I thought the biggest necessities for the state of Cleveland football when I was fortunate to become head coach is we had to infuse it with great men, great leaders, great mentors, great people, great Christians, and to be able to do that and then throw on top, they're just outstanding football coaches is unreal, especially in our short time frame. So, just moving through the different roles. We've got Coach David Barger, which is no stranger to Cleveland. He's actually running our offense, which is good because he knows exactly what defenses hate. Coach Ben Braun working with our offensive line. We were able to retain Coach Chris Reynolds, who does a great job with our wide receivers. Coach Cal Washington, who's been with Cleveland football forever, just an absolute no more loyal to the Blue Raiders than himself. He's working with our Y-backs, our fullbacks, and tight ends. And then Coach Hyman, we were able to keep on staff to work specifically with our quarterback room. Switching over to the defensive side, we've got Coach Ted Lockerbie works as our defensive coordinator. Again, been at Cleveland before, as with me. His son, Clark Lockerbie, who played at Cleveland and finished his career as an All-State player at Red Bank, he's with us as our strength coordinator and our defensive line coach. I work predominantly with the outside linebackers. Coach Gavin Rennish, who was on staff before, is helping specialize with our corners. And Coach Havery Hughes he's helping up with middle linebackers. Coach Lee Bergaker swings between offensive and defensive lines, whichever side needs the extra butt chewing.
Well, that's awesome, Coach. One thing that I feel like the average football fan glazes over is special teams and having
I'm so sorry. Keegan Jones joined our staff late.
Oh, yeah, he did.
And that's whenever he gets the call to play professional football, which I'm sure will happen any day now. Until then, he's going to work with our running backs. Pardon me.
And
I'm
what?
So sorry.
No, you're fine. And what an asset that is. The experience him having up at UCLA.
Yeah, standout at UCLA.
Absolutely, just a great example of what you can become out of Cleveland High School if you work hard enough and you buy into what you need to on and off the field.
Yes, sir. At where I was going with that, with the special teams, having a guy like Sloan Bolaños who is a weapon. Just kind of speak on him. I know a lot of average fans don't think about special teams, but man, what a weapon he is back there.
Well, and I don't want to get nerdy, so I won't go into the numbers. But when a drive starts at the 20-yard line in high school football, there's a whole lot that has to go right for that play or that drive not to stall itself. So just being able to have a touchback kicker, a kid with supreme confidence and a strong leg to go out and make the hard kicks when they need to be made, the power of coming away with 3 points, but to finish a drive, I pretty much will. It's a strategy game changer, and very fortunate to have him and his experience. And we've also been lucky that Raider Brose, a talented soccer player, sophomore, has decided to come out and kind of tuck under his wing a little bit, and we're hoping to continue this lineage on past Sloan's graduation.
Well, he's got the right name, that's for sure.
Well, and here's the thing: that whole family, both sides of them, are athletic and great Cleveland people for sure.
Hey, Coach, the last thing that I've got for you here, I'm sitting here looking at your roster, and one thing that we kind of heard a lot on this show last year was numbers aren't where we want to have them. Looking at your roster, it looks like you fixed that problem.
Numbers are subjective. So,
okay.
I take a great deal of pride on. We say this all. We coach them all. We coach them all the time. We're going to touch the bottom of our depth chart and roster every single day. So we want to foster and create an environment where if a young man wants to play football, regardless of their talent level, they're going to come out and they're going to get coached every single day. Their appearance matters. Their presence matters to all of us all the time. So, some of it is we're just so young and green. There's just so many opportunities to earn coveted time or starting positions. And some of it, I really do believe that our coaches are just investing into their entire position group, that, we're retaining the kids who've come out and given it a look, and we're attracting young kids who have never really either played before or have never truly experienced like what it means to be developed, to be invested in long term, not just what they can do this year, but being treated as if this is a multi-10-year relationship. So, when you do those things right, I just kind of always seen that your roster is exactly what it needs to be. Will we love to have 100 players? Of course. Would I love to have a 2-platoon team? Yes, I hope we eventually work towards that. But, steps in the right direction for just how we're treating our kids and how they feel when they come to work and lead it every day.
Coach, the last thing I got for you, if you could let our listeners know what Thursday night over on Raider Drive is going to look like.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. I'm curious to see it myself. I know from what I see every day is we've got, a group that they want to know, they want to learn how to do things right. They're in the process of figuring out, what it means to play selfless football, what it means to put in not just for their game, but for their teammates. And they're learning what it means to represent the C on their chest and not the name on the back. And that's a hard cultural shift, but I'm proud of the effort towards that they're putting in. Now, what that means on the field, that's what we'll let the game decide. That's the fun part. But the important piece, the part that we care about, that I care about the most, that's what I see every day. That's what I'm going to see when I walk into the locker room and see all our lockers correct. That's what I'm going to see when we come out to flex tomorrow and everybody claps on the first whistle. That's the longer, stronger piece that we're focused on. Thursday, it'll be what it is, and I expect our kids to fly around and compete, and I expect it to be a heck of a game. I think Coach Akins does a great job over there. I've known him a long time. But we have to look at this as an overall picture too.
Coach, what time do gates open for everybody that might be wanting to come out and purchase a ticket and come to the game?
That's a great question from my athletic director. I can tell you where I'm going to be at 5:45
Good deal.
in the morning.
Good deal. We'll get them on here.
That sounds like a great plan.
Hey, Coach, thanks so much for joining the show today.
Hey, my pleasure. Thanks for having me, guys.